Hello grade. Today is our lesson about physical and chemical changes. Let's start. What are physical changes? Page 36. As we know from the previous lesson that physical properties of matter can be observed or measured without a changing in the identity of the substance. We use some properties to describe matter. We have two types of properties, physical properties and chemical properties. The physical properties, as we mentioned last time, they describe substance by itself, how it looks like for example, color, mass, volume, density, melting point, and boiling point. So, what is physical change? It is a change that affects one or more physical properties. When one or more from these physical properties that we mentioned last slide, when one or more of them change, we call that physical change. And the most important thing about physical change, this sentence, it means without changing the identity. Physical change doesn't change identity of matter or doesn't change matter into new matter. Like for example, changing the state of matter. As we know that we have three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas here. In first one here, first beaker, we have ice, solid. So melting, first step here from solid to liquid. This is physical change because we change the solid ice, the solid water into liquid water, and both of them actually stay water. And here also, by boiling water, it changes to water vapor. So here it was liquid state and now it's gas state. By boiling or evaporation, we change the state. So melting or boiling or evaporation, all of them are physical changes. Why? Because here we still, in the three beakers, we still have water. The water doesn't change into new matter, stays water. So this first example for physical change. Let's see another physical change. Because this was the raw wool, and this is what we have by the end. Both of them still the same substance, which is wool. Yes, the color changed, texture changed, but at the end we still have wool. So this is physical change. Other examples for physical changes: cutting paper. When we cut the paper, it stays paper. It doesn't make new substance. It will not change to new substance. Also, broken pen will not change. When we break the pencil, it will not be new matter. Let's go now to the chemical change. In the chemical change, one or more substance change into entirely new substance. So here we don't have the same substance anymore. The substance changed totally into new substance, different substance which wasn't before from the beginning. So the most important part about chemical change that we have to know that chemical changes cause a change in the identity of substance. This means that they make new substance. Chemical changes make new substance. We can call chemical change as a chemical reaction. No chemical change will happen without chemical reaction. Chemical change like burning wood. The burning of wood, by the end, have ashes or this grayish powder results from burning. When we burn it, we don't have the same wood anymore. The wood changed totally into new substance. So this is example for chemical change. Let's see another example. Cooking eggs. So you have seen this before with your parent. When we cook the egg, first of all, it was transparent, liquid. By heating and cooking it, it changes to this white substance. and it has different texture, it has different taste, and even a smell. The chemical change has taken place here to the egg. Let's compare between physical change and chemical change in the two cases for the wood. In the first picture here, by cutting the wood, no change in the identity. The wood will stay wood. Yes, the size will change, the volume will change, but at the end we will have wood. So all the things that I said that will change, they all are physical properties. But let's go to the next picture and see. By burning wood, it changes to ashes, as we said, and black substance, which is totally different from the wood. It's not wood anymore. So the wood here changed into new substance. So the identity of the wood changed. So if we will compare between physical change and chemical change, in physical change we will say that it's a change that doesn't form new substance. But chemical change is a change that forms new substance. Here, doesn't change the identity of matter, as we said, but here changes the identity of matter. Like here, for example, melting, boiling, cutting, folding, breaking, dissolving. Like here, examples for chemical change: burning, rotting, rusting, souring, baking, and cooking. How can you tell a chemical change has happened? We have signs to tell us if chemical change has happened or no. The 5 signs here, let's read them together. First, production of a gas. Can be gas or bubbles. Number 2, production of an odor, means smell. Formation of precipitate, and we will explain what does it mean. Change in color, change of energy. Let's start with the first sign. Production of gas. Reaction of vinegar and baking soda releases carbon dioxide. So this is first sign for chemical change. Let's see also this experiment called elephant toothpaste. When we add hydrogen peroxide, it breaks down into oxygen gas and water, and we add some soap to give this amount of bubbles. So production of gas or bubbles is the first sign for chemical change. Number 2, production of an odor. As we said before, odor means smell. So when we smell different odor, this means that the chemical change has taken place. Like here, sour from the normal milk. And also baking cake. By baking a cake, there is a nice smell, delicious smell. This means also that chemical change has taken place. And also moldy. Change in color, number 3, like what we see here. When we add 2 substances together and they change the color into totally different color, this means that chemical change has happened here. Change in color, number 3. Here also another example for changing color. Here the nails, the iron nails, we have them from the beginning, they are silver. By the time when they exposed to water and oxygen, they change to brown color, as we see here, the rusting. This is a chemical change. Let's see number 4, formation of precipitate. Here we add clear substance or clear liquid on another clear liquid, and when we add them both together, they make this yellow substance. This is called precipitate. When you add 2 liquids and they make this kind of powder inside, this means that they had chemical change. And this is the 4th sign for chemical change. Here also precipitate inside, which means that a chemical change has taken place. So liquids sometimes combine together to form a solid called precipitate. Number 5, change in energy. Releasing of energy as heat or light or sound, all are signs for chemical change. In this experiment, when we add sodium to the water, sodium is kind of metals. When you add it to water, they react and they release, as we see here, fire and light and even sound. As we know, light, sound, heat, they all are examples for energy. What happens during the chemical substance? What happens? The bond here will break down between the white and the green, and it will bond with another compound. So what happens during a chemical reaction? That the atoms, they rearrange themselves and the bonds break down and they form new bonds, like here, as you see here. A substance identity changes as atoms and chemical bonds get rearranged, like here. This is what happens during chemical change. So let's revise. What did we take? What are the 5 signs for chemical changes? Do you remember? Number 1 was production of a gas that comes out as bubbles or fizzing or foaming. Number 2, production of an odor or smell. Number 3, formation of precipitate, the solid substance that we add 2 liquids together. Number 4, change in color. And number 5 was change of energy as heat or sound or light. These are the 5 signs of chemical change. Your homework for today will be page 41, question 20. See you next time in another video with another lesson. Bye-bye.